whoever wins the NL West is going to make it to the playoffs, but whoever comes in second now with the Pirates and Cubs pulling away is actually going to be left out. So you could have your World Series champion San Francisco Giants being left out, or your Clayton Kershaw, Yasiel Puig, and these guys getting left out of the playoffs. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, you know what? That's kind of a tough one. Whew. Let's see. The Dodgers.
And not to mention,
you know what?
The Nationals and the Mets.
Well, here I was gonna say the Mets. Listen, the Mets made some viable moves. I mean, listen, any self-respecting Braves fan does not cheer for the New York Mets. You don't cheer for the Washington Nationals, although most people will get mad because I am a Bryce Harper fan. You can't be mad at me. The man has fantastic hair. It's not as good as mine, but he does have fantastic hair.
That's who you copy.
No, I don't copy anybody. I'm my own person. Listen, don't even go there.
It looks like
okay?
You
don't
it looks like
even go there because this is what you're going to get. That door's going to get shut. And you're going to be done.
Duck down.
I'm just kidding, Josh
Shotgun
Black.
blast.
I'm just kidding, Josh Black. Your hair is great. I just had to give you some.
All right, who's talking to me, man? That's okay, man. You're talking to me. Listen, I try to tell you, man. Not a Quelo, LA Dodgers, they be back again, man.
Say hello
don't
to
play
my
that. Little friend. Don't play that time with me, man. That's okay. You want to play rough?
Listen,
you want to play rough? You want to play rough with me? I'm a political refugee, okay, man? A political refugee. Listen, Los Angeles Dodgers, I think oh, man, it's so tough to count them out because of the lineup they have, the amount of money they spent. I know they've been inconsistent. Kershaw had some hiccups, but now he's on a roll. Joc Peterson, God bless him, man. Before the All-Star break,
we had that argument.
Yeah,
remember?
we did. We really did. And
now, who was your pick that's
right.
more valuable to the team, Kris Bryant or Joc Peterson?
I gotta say, you were right. I can't even believe I said it. I want to punch myself in the face for saying it. But when you talk about athletes like that, Kris Bryant is all right. So just to kind of recap real quick, for those of you who don't know, CP and I had this argument beginning of baseball season. We said who is more vital an asset to their team at the beginning of the season. We were only, a couple of games in, I think.
I think the
it's
first
right.
week
It's right
of
when
June.
KB. Actually, you're right. It's right when Kris Bryant got brought up. I said, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I said Joc Peterson would be more valuable to the Dodgers than Kris Bryant would be to the Chicago Cubs. And if you know anything about anything that's baseball related, I was dead wrong. And I'll be first to admit I was dead wrong. Joc Peterson before the All-Star break,
on fire.
You couldn't tell me squat.
Home run derby.
Oh, just crushing. But he was just all around. He was so good. And then he was hitting like 138 or 128 as of last week.
Right.
Before I don't know, and he may have got sent down. I don't know. I know they were talking about benching
Brian
or whatever.
Just keeps hitting clutch
and
runs.
Kris Bryant has gotten better as the year has progressed. Right. I mean, listen, he helped destroy my Braves. He hit the walk-off last night against
Cleveland. And by the way, John Lester actually pitched 9 2/3 shutout inning.
Which is what you paid him the money for to begin with.
And then in the bottom of the ninth, with the wind blowing 20 miles an hour in, Kris Bryant somehow hits a home run to right center.
Absolutely.
Which is almost impossible for a right-hander with that wind.
Listen, I got to say this. I took, beginning of the season, before the season even started, I picked Washington out of the National League, and I picked Kansas City, I believe it was.
Here's reading the text from my buddy Brian. He said CP is a Cubs encyclopedia.
No, I don't even, Hey, listen, keep texting in on the Flex T, famous text line. On top of that, keep hitting us up on Twitter with your conversation. Check the Twitter feed. I know we got some folks chiming in. But anyway, I chose Washington to win out of the National League, and out of the American League, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I took Kansas City.
I took Kansas City.
I think it was Kansas City. I got to go back and double check I know my boy Jeff out in Arizona's got it because we did a little pool. I thought I took Kansas City. I could be wrong. And you know what? I did take Kansas City. My sleeper team was Houston. My sleeper team was Houston. I said if somebody could win and have a great season, it would be the Astros. And listen, right up until now, and they're not even out of it, not even by a long shot, but
they are pretty much close.
They had some health issues. They couldn't stay healthy. I mean, it got a little tough there for a minute. God bless my Braves, though, man. They are just terrible. Oh God, absolutely just in the dump, man, in the dump. So, but I want to ask you this before we move on to the next topic. You mentioned a little while ago we talked about the Braves. You liked what they were doing. They were doing it the right way. But look at teams who have adapted a certain concept over the last couple of years. And if you don't know what I'm talking about Moneyball. I'm talking about Billy Beane, what he did with the A's back in 2000 or 2001, whatever it was. St. Louis.
Unbelievable how they do it.
Listen, Boston, say what you want. They didn't really incorporate the full-fledged Moneyball theory. But they implemented some pieces there, and they won the World Series a couple of years later. Now, granted, they had Big Papi, they had Manny, they had my man who was New York, Johnny Damon.
Mm-hmm.
They had great pitching. They had Schilling. God, I'm missing probably. I can't even think of who I'm.
It's hard because you see what happens with the Cardinals. You got to remember the hero for the Cardinals. 6 years ago was David Freese.
Yeah.
They got rid of him the next year. Everyone thought they were idiots. Boston did the same thing. Every year they won it, they had a completely different roster because they knew who to get rid of at what time and who to bring up and pay very little money for so they could make that mid-season acquisition, which Billy Beane tried to do it last year in Oakland with Smarja and Hamill and all those guys.
Right.
They
came close. I mean, he had a shot. They definitely had a chance to do it, but
they cost him Madison Russell.
Yeah, well, I mean
that's a tough thing to swallow.
Yeah, that is. Look at what he's doing. Good Lord, look at what he's doing. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
He took a 3-time All-Star shortstops starting spot mid-season. Starlin Castro was benched so Addison Russell could start at shortstop.
So let's say this real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. On a scale of 1 to 10, would you be? Or no, I'll make it even more interesting. If you had $100,000 in your pocket right now, and we went to Vegas, and the odds on the Cubs winning the World Series,
wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't bet on it. With the way they're playing right now, you wouldn't do it.
All right, listen. Billy Goats, Black Cats, Steve Bartman.
The curse of the Bambino.
All right. God bless. I just, I think Madden is the guy to break the curse. But, I will not believe the Cubs will win a series until there are 3 outs in the bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth at Wrigley, and we actually won it. I will not believe it until that happens.
Well, all right. But for $100,000, if I had money to blow, I'd bet on the Cubs. I'd bet on the Cubs.
I actually called my dad, and this is a funny story. I called my dad at the beginning of the year when the odds came out, and Rick Renteria was still the Cubs manager. And I said, with all the guys coming up and all the guys that are lined up, I said, I think the odds were 60 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I called my dad and I said, you need to call your guy and let's go ahead and put down $1,000 on the Cubs winning the World Series. Damn it! If 2 weeks later they didn't get John Lester and Joe Madden in the same 2 weeks, and all of a sudden those odds went from 60 to 1 to like 10 to 1.
Oh. I'd call him back and say, who's the dummy now, huh? Who's the dummy now? Hey, listen, I would have had to done it. It's Welcome to the South Radio. We are live, 444 Studios. My man Dream Note is still rocking with us. Coming up next, we're going to talk about a little hip-hop music. One of the countryest groups in hip-hop you're probably ever going to hear of. I know you've heard of them because they're platinum-selling artists. I'm talking about Nappy Roots. Out of Kentucky, my boy Fishscale's absolutely skinny, Clutch, Big B, still all of them. So it's Welcome to the South Radio. We're back right after this.